Starting plants indoors from seed can be economical because a packet of seeds is inexpensive and it produces a lot of plants. It can give you a jump start on your spring garden. And even if the experiment doesn't work out and none of your seed starts make it into full-grown plants, it is still fun because seeing that little bit of green new life in the winter produces such a nice feeling. Seeds are generally started in little cells because they do not need a lot of space, but they do need a high-quality seed starting mix, like this one. And a smaller container means none is wasted. You can buy seed starting cells or flats at the garden store, or if you're experimenting with seed starting, like I am, make your own seed starting pots from newspaper. And this is a great way to upcycle materials you already have. To make a 1-inch pot that will be a very nice size for starting a seed, you go from your double spread of newspaper and you're going to cut it into 8s. So first you cut along the long edge. You want to make sure that you actually have a square because the fold that comes in the newspaper is not usually right in the center. Okay, have along that crease. There, and then that crease. Alright, so now I have 8 long rectangles that are twice as long as they are wide. So I'm going to take one of those, fold it in half from top to bottom, then I'm going to fold it in half the other way, and then taking the side of the crease, I'm going to fold that up into a triangle shape like a paper airplane, and do the same on the other side. Then I'm going to open it up so I have a shape like a house. And using one layer only, I'm going to take this edge and fold it up to the bottom of my triangle. And then I'm going to fold it up again. Then I'm going to flip it over. And before I do that same fold on this side, I'm going to take my outer edges and fold them to that center crease. Every house is much taller. Okay. And then I'm going to fold this edge up to the bottom and fold it up again. So now my paper looks the same on both sides, but one side is attached and one side is flattened here. So I'm going to tuck this edge, that very bottom edge, into the inside. And there are triangle creases here on the inside. I'm going to get it inside of those little pockets. So I'm going to tuck it in. This is the trickiest part of the square-shaped pot. So it will probably take a few tries. But remember that the more you practice it, the easier it becomes. Practice makes it easy, as I like to say. And the results are satisfying. Alright, that's in. And then just to take care of future me, I'm going to take the top point here, line it up with one of the side points, and crease out just that little puff right there. I don't need to crease this part, just that little one. And then I'm going to flip it over and make that same crease going the other way. That just makes it a little bit easier when it's time to pop out your box, which is now. So those creases are where the bottom is going to fold over on itself. So tuck that in, and the bottom will fold up, and then you have the box. Seed starting mix is different from the compost you make in your backyard or even in regular potting soil because it is very light and fine-grained to help promote baby root growth. When you work with your seed starting mix, you want to get it wet to begin with because that will give you a jump start on your watering. So I have here my mix, a scoop, a bowl to mix it in, Wow, that is very light and fluffy. Then, my pots I've put into one of these plastic clamshells. If you can't reduce, it's best to avoid having these clamshells in your life altogether. But the next best thing after reducing is reusing. So I'm going to reuse this one to start my baby seeds. And so I'm going to just get a scoop of the soil. Okay, it is time to plant my seeds. So that's exciting. I read in multiple places you should grow what you like, and I love kale, so I'm going to be growing kale, planted kale seeds. This is a nice mix of 4 different types of kale. And I'm going to start by making dibbles with my pinky, just a little bit of an indentation. It does not have to be very deep, because I am going to add some more seed starting mix on top once my seed is planted. But this will just kind of help me know that the seed is in the center of the pot and not it hasn't fallen somewhere off to the side. So here are my dibbles in all 12 of my little pots. And then I'm going to drop 2 seeds into each little hole. 2 seeds in each cell will give you a pretty good odds that at least one of them will germinate and actually become a plant. So once these guys are all tucked in, for watering, the best bet is to bottom water, which would mean filling your container with about an inch or so of water and just letting the newspaper and the seed starting mix absorb it from the bottom. Another option is to use a mister like this and just mist the tops. You don't want to water it with like a traditional watering can because that will wash out your seeds or at least dislodge them, make it harder for them to get a start. So just a little bit of mist, or you can water it from the bottom. And good luck, little kale.